This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 630 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by ECOGOLD, saddle pads and protective boots for your equine athlete. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is about branched-chain amino acids. It's an excerpt from the Horses in the Morning Show, episode number 376, and features Dr. Gordon Chang from Omega Alpha Equine. But before we get to today's tip, let's hear what Karen O'Connor has to say about our sponsor, ECOGOLD.
I met Patricia, I think it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and the thing that separates ECOGOLD from any other saddle pad company in the world that I'm aware of is that they are experts in textiles, and they understand fabrics, and they understand what breathes on a horse and what holds the sweat in, what doesn't hold the sweat in. And so for that reason, they are ahead of the game. And then they have an incredible support system around them where they respect their sponsored riders and ask for our input on the shapes of the product, the shape of the pads, and all the other products that ECOGOLD makes. And so it's a win-win, because you feel like with ECOGOLD, the company and the sponsored riders are all growing together, and we're all helping each other to make the very best product that there is out there. And while they are also, they are still continuing to be state-of-the-art on new textiles, new fabrics, and new products, and new materials that make their product stand out way ahead of anything else out there.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. Now, let's enjoy today's tip.
Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Glenn. It's great to be here.
Well, we're pleased to have you on. So, as we know, once a month we have Dr. Chang on, and he educates us about everything to do with horses and supplements, and anything you need to know about supplements. Dr. Chang knows, and he is the creator and mastermind behind the Omega Alpha supplement. So what are we going to learn about today, Dr. Chang?
Well, first of all, I think I'd like to clarify that part about everything you'd want to know, because it's amazing how many new things keep crawling out to the woodwork. Some of them are really based in science, and some of them I say, well, Grandma used this, so why not? Anyway, no, today I think we talk a little bit about branched-chain amino acids. Everybody in the horse business seems to be using branched-chain amino acids. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about those today.
Okay,
that's a light topic for a Monday.
Well, first of all, let me tell you that this segment, my mom listens to every single show, Dr. Chang, and she doesn't own a horse. She's only, ridden horses when she was a teenager. And for some reason, your segment is her favorite segment of the entire show. She thinks that you are the most fascinating, interesting person, and she's going to love this. But I want to know
what is branched-chain?
Exactly. What are you talking about?
Okay. Commonly there's about 23 common amino acids that's available for use by the body. They're found in proteins and milk and so on, right? Now, of these 23 common amino acids, there's three of them called branched-chain amino acids, and these are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Okay. The claim to fame of these amino acids is that they spare the muscle from breakdown. What that means is that after exercise, two things go on. One of the things that we know that goes on after exercise is that there's a breakdown of amino acids. Breakdown of muscle protein. Right? And because there's breakdown of muscle protein, one of the ideas is that if we can inhibit this breakdown of muscle protein, and we can encourage the growth of new muscle, that's a major plus. And that's why people use branched-chain aminos. Branched-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, they used to increase the building of new muscle. Now, a lot of this work the papers that I've seen was done initially on humans. But, mammalian physiology being what it is, what's good for the person. It's also good for the horse. You just have to vary the concentrations, right, in most parts. Now, one of the secrets about branched-chain aminos that people should know is that for it to work the best, you got to take it right after exercise. There's a window of about 2 hours where it works the best. 2 hours post-exercise is the best time to do it. That's why usually, when you give your horse an electrolyte, usually give it after exercise. It's a good idea to add the branched-chain amino acid at that point in time. All right. Now, there's another amino acid called L-glutamine that a lot of people use. And what L-glutamine does, it works like the branch chains in that it inhibits muscle breakdown. Again, this is observation. If you ask me, is there a rhyme or reason, meaning that why does it spare muscle breakdown? The science is there is not that well thought out. However, we do know for a fact that when you give L-glutamine, it actually inhibits muscle breakdown, and we've seen that many times over.
Okay,
so that's why. Sorry, go ahead.
So this is important to give your horse. Say, you go and you run your horse cross country, or you take him to show jumping, or you go and you do a really hard dressage ride, or a long trail ride. Even you want to give this to your horse after they are done, and it repairs it, or do you give it to them? Sorry for getting confused. Do you give it to them before to prevent?
You give it to them afterwards. There's that magic window of 2 hours that you give it to them, and the reason you do that is that you get the best effect that way. It's found that if you give the branched chain amino acids within that magic 2 hour window, you get the best muscle growth. Now, that's not to say it doesn't happen otherwise, but for optimum effect, we find that if you do it during that magic 2 hours, that's the best time to do it.
Okay.
All right. Now, I do know there are people who give it to them before, right? And the thinking is as follows. When you give it to them before, we know there's a 2 hour window. Most horse races are less than 2 hours, right? Or most rides are less than 2 hours. So, again, it takes time for the body to absorb it. So, that takes normally about an hour. So if you do it prior to the race or prior to the workout, it'll be in the bloodstream by the time the body's ready to use it. So that, there's a rationale for taking it before the race also. Okay.
So is this a product that would be mainly used by racehorse owners?
Well, racehorse owners, cross-country, dressage, jumping, because what you're trying to do here is maintain muscle mass. And this is what these branched chain aminos do. They maintain muscle mass. Okay,
so, even for endurance horses too, probably.
Even for endurance horses, that's correct.
Yeah, so what's the product that you guys have that has the branched chain amino acids in it?
It's called Equicell Light. And what we have done with this is that we have paired it off with some electrolytes in there. So because most people will give their horses electrolytes after a workout, so this is the perfect way of getting it into them. If you're going to give your horse an electrolyte, it has a branched chain amino acid at the same time, so it's a no-brainer. You just take it and off to the races. But if you're just looking for something that's a straight electrolyte, Equicell Light is not the product you want just because it already has the branched chain amino acids in there.
Okay, so Equicell Light. Now, say I am at a horse trial, and I just ran cross country. I want to give my horse the Equicell Light. I give it to him, but obviously we have show jumping the next day. Is this going to be something that is illegal to give at a competition, or is it?
Everything we sell does not test under the current testing regimen. Nothing that we have gives positive drug test. And really, to be fair, these are electrolytes. Equicell Light is electrolyte plus amino acids. Amino acids is stuff you get from your hay, right? From prepared mash, etc. Anything that has protein that will have electrolytes. Will have amino acids.
Gotcha. So it's not an advantage. You're giving your horse an advantage by them feeling a little bit better, but it's not like you're pumping them full of drugs.
That's correct. All we're trying to do is to maintain muscle mass and inhibit muscle breakdown.
Gotcha. Glenn?
Hello?
Glenn? Yeah, Dr. Chang, I'm sorry. I
I'm
thought
here.
Glenn
Yep,
was
sorry.
there.
I'm
You lost
back.
it for a second.
I got to tell you, Dr. Chang, that we Jennifer and I took a chance. We've moved to Ocala, Florida now. We took the opportunity Saturday, had a kind of a lazy day, and we went around to all the different feed stores and tack shops, and there must be 1,000 of them here in Ocala. And a bunch of them had your products, had Omega Alpha products.
We are getting around, ever so
Yeah.
slowly. Slowly but
No, I
surely,
was
we're getting
surprised.
around.
Yeah, we saw the Biotic 8 and several others there, and right there on display. So we were so proud to see that.
There you go. To learn more about how your horse's insides work from Dr. Chang, go to omegaalpha.ca, where you'll find plenty of information from the good doctor, as well as the complete lineup of Omega Alpha products. If you just love listening to Glenn and Jamie put in their 2 cents about horse health topics, you can tune into the Horses in the Morning show at horsesinthemorning.com. Don't forget, support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's sponsor has been ECOGOLD. Ask for ECOGOLD saddle pads and protective boots by name at your local tack store, or you can visit them online at ecogold.ca. They have excellent informational videos all about their technologically improved and advanced saddle pads and protective boots. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like to hear us cover on the show. You can subscribe to all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. You can also listen to the shows right on Facebook. The player's right there every day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.